Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. I wanted to talk about a few things. Basically a possible civil war on the horizon. That's the title of this video. We just basically got a lot going on. We got wars, rumors of wars. We got, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We got Egyptian against Egyptian. We got a lot happening. And it's all because, the devil knows he has a short time, so there's too much going on. We're just in that time where things are heating up. So I got a few articles that I'll read, a few videos that I'll play. We will get some understanding of what's happening. It's just another blowing of the trumpet.
In 2023, nearly 250,000 illegal aliens entered the United States every month. Nearly all of these illegals followed the same mass migration trail that starts in Quito, Ecuador, and ends at the US southern border. So, we decided to follow the trail ourselves. Along the way, we discovered secret Chinese staging hotels, crossed through the world's deadliest jungle, embedded with an illegal alien caravan, rode the Mexican train of death, and finally were kidnapped by the Gulf Cartel, just hundreds of feet from the United States border. This video will expose the entire illegal alien pipeline for what it is: a United Nations weaponized migration agenda, masquerading as an organic humanitarian crisis. This agenda directly benefits cartels and human smugglers, exposes the United States to incredible geopolitical threats, and could potentially usher in permanent one-party rule. The first stop along the route is Ecuador. US-bound illegal aliens from all over the world first fly into the capital city of Quito due to the country's easy entry requirements. From here, aliens begin making their way towards Colombia. In the Ecuadorian border town of Tulcan, dozens of government and non-government organizations offer aid and instructions on how to navigate the mass migration trail. This map, migration-related organizations. In the Ecuadorian border town of Tulcan, dozens of government and non-government.
All right, so we basically got, I believe this is the UN or something. I mean, it's in Spanish. Spanish. We got United States. We got Canada. Right. Let me see. Let me search this up right quick. I should have searched it up, but search it up real quick. I believe it's the UN. I'm gonna see what it says. Poor. He's gonna explain it. I watched this whole video. Union. EUROPA. Let's see. All right, I'll get back to that.
Organizations offer aid and instructions on how to navigate the mass migration trail. This map, provided by the United Nations, shows all of the migration-related organizations in Tulcan. Aliens receive aid in the form of legal assistance, food packages, healthcare, maps, and more. Some of this aid is incredibly bizarre. The United Nations International Organization of Migration, IOM for short, hands out pamphlets detailing how to put on a condom. It is clear that the intent of these organizations is to direct the masses of illegal aliens to the United States. Consider this map, which shows the route from Colombia.
All right, so this is pretty much where I wanted to get to on this. I'm looking at this thing. I was just trying to look up. It's in Spanish, of course, so I can't really get the name. 1 second. Yeah, it says Council of the European Union. So that was those stars. Anyway, as you can see, this is monitored, this is tracked, this is sanctioned basically. People know about it. Government agencies are helping people travel from one location to reach this border over here where they got a border crisis. They got maps, they got, pamphlets telling people how to use condoms and different things is going on with this. And that's pretty much what I want to bring out, that this stuff is is tracked, and it goes into a lot. This alone, for like the dude was just saying, trafficking drugs and trafficking human beings and things like that. How many people go missing and things like that, or body parts are found, and these wicked elites can live forever and ever, right? So all of this stuff is for a purpose and for a reason. But now we're at a time where the purpose and reason is bringing in sleeper agents and things like that.
Colombia to the United States and marks 12 U.S. border crossing points with flags. Many
And this is right over here where that situation is happening. And if you watch this video right here, you search this video up, whatever, he's gonna explain how it's dangerous, and maybe this is one of the shorter routes, but if you take the longer route, it gets more dangerous. Because remember, you're in Mexico, you got, cartels and things like that you want to try to avoid. So I would think you coming this way and then trying to just herp and get to the United States would be easier. But all this stuff over here, if you try to take that way, it might be a little harder.
similar maps are distributed by other organizations. This map, distributed by the Red Cross, shows the route from Panama to the United States in painstaking detail. On the back of the map, illegal aliens are encouraged to ride on top of freight trains to reach the United States border.
It says avoid getting onto a freight train or vehicle if you have not being arrested or if you are under influence of alcohol, drugs, or medication that can make you drowsy. So yeah, these people are basically telling these immigrants how to get here, what to do, how to prepare and things like that.
It's worth noting that these maps direct aliens into incredibly dangerous territory, such as the Darien Gap or cartel-controlled areas of Mexico. If this mass migration program were truly for humanitarian purposes, venturing into such territories would be discouraged. Not only are aliens risking their lives by following these instructions, but the United Nations is indirectly helping organized crime earn.
See what it says. DHS cartels earn up to $6 billion a year from smuggling migrants. And you can go to Epstein's Island. All these other fucking Edomites that love fucking with little children and things like that. Cartels making 13 billion a year smuggling migrants across the border. Report says. Are human smuggling cartels at the U.S. border earning 500 million a year? You can go into what back when they found on Amazon, they were selling like cabinets for like $13,000. People were saying that there were human, children and things in there. That's really what it was for. And I mean, come on, like we got the things are coming out now where Epstein's Island is one of those examples where we're knowing that children and things were there, and these people are raping them and things like that, right? So, sex trafficking and human trafficking and things like that is serious, and this is one of the major things that probably play into that.
Untold amounts of money by sending millions of people their way to be smuggled. These same criminal organizations notoriously rape women, rob innocent people, and execute their enemies. After crossing into Colombia from Ecuador, the next stop along the route is the city of Pasto. It was here that we discovered
All right, so that's what
a
that.
secret staging point.
So yeah, this is basically a guy explaining. Um, Muck followed the entire mass migration route from Ecuador to United States border. So it's basically a route sanctioned by different government agencies for illegal immigrants to make it to the USA border, right? The Mexico border, United States border, right? Where we're currently having a problem. So this is sanctioned. They're already helping people get there with maps and everything. So there's a problem at the border, but it's sanctioned to help people get to that problem to only add fuel to it. Anyway, Operation Lone Star. President Biden's reckless open border policies have created an ongoing crisis at our southern border as record levels of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs pour into Texas. Excuse me. Texas is taking historic action to respond to this border crisis. In 2021, Governor Abbott launched Operation Lone Star, deploying the Texas National Guard and Texas Department of Public Safety to the southern border. Operation Lone Star personnel work around the clock to detect and repel illegal crossings, arrest human smugglers and cartel gang members, and stop the flow of deadly drugs like fentanyl into our nation. While the federal government ignores the crisis, Texas holding the line. So a lot of things started happening around 2021. 2019. We know what happened in 2019, and a lot of things is just picking up and starting. So this guy, the governor of Texas, launched this operation back in 2021, and basically this is a map of the area and dispute between Texas and the Biden administration. And this is like I said, a possible civil war on the horizon. Because you have the government and then you have the National Guard, basically the Border Patrol being the government, backed by Biden and the government and the Supreme Court telling them what to do, and you have Texas and the National Guard going down there trying to disobey orders. So there's tension in the area right now. That's why it's a possible civil war because you have, which I'm gonna get into, and like we was just looking at the other map, this area right here, like they come through Mexico and they go right there to the United States. Um, that's where the area is at. But I'm gonna get into the which states and the Civil War and all of that. Let's read some of this timeline of what's been going on. January 10th, it says the Texas National Guard blocked the Border Patrol from placing mobile surveillance equipment inside Shelby Park, according to Robert Danley, lead field coordinator for U.S. Customs and Border Protection for the Del Rio area. January 12th, at around 8 p.m., Mexico National Institute of Migration learned about the drowning deaths of two children and a woman, which occurred in the area of the Shelby Park boat ramp, right? And all this is about is hearts and minds of the people, of the civilians, people that don't know what's going on because they want to act like they care so hard about these people that drown. But we got to remember what's going on right now with Hamas and Israel, right? Bombings is continuing to bomb. America is telling them don't stop bombing, keep bombing. They told Ukraine wanted to make peace talk with Putin. America said nah, uh, don't make peace talk. I think it was some guy in Europe, but they the same people. Don't make peace talks. Keep going to war. Don't stop. So they don't want peace and they don't care about innocent lives being lost, right? So this is just bullshit for the minds and hearts of people, I guess. But they not fooling us, and we telling y'all so y'all don't be fooled either. Anyway, and then come on now, these people they're drowning. They have they sanction, like we just said, they sanction a whole travel plan, miles and miles and miles of just treacherous walking and territory and all type of stuff. I ain't even really get into it, but it gets crazy. You walking through jungles, you
Notorious
know.
for incidents of
Look, what's
violence
going on?
and
Like people are
fatalities.
getting raped, people are
Treks through these
dying
routes can
along
last
this
up to
trail,
5 days.
right? So trust me, they don't care about, sadly, these people drowning and dying trying to make it into the United States. They're just putting it out there for us to look at that. If somebody, oh, because they can't really do anything without people trying really agreeing. Anyway, Saturday, January 13, Mexico National Institute of Migration told the Border Patrol's Del Rio sector 7 migrants in two groups had tried to cross the Rio Grande the night before. January 15, a Border Patrol agent drove through an access road within the roughly 2.5-mile area, Danley Road, but the agent was stopped and questioned by a Texas National Guard member. See, so you got the government agency against, I don't know, my nose is kind of stuffy. I don't know, hold on. So yeah, you got a Border Patrol, which is government agency against the Texan National Guard, and the National Guard is really backed by the governor of that state. And that's why it's a civil war, because you got the people against the government. Let's see what civil war means. Civil A war between citizens of the same country. Now I mean that's pretty much what's happening because you got uh But you got the government and the border patrol, which are civilians, and then you got the National Guard, which are civilians, right? But it's like two government different agencies, but they're all people of the same country, basically citizens of the same country. So yeah. January 17, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security set this date as the deadline for when Texas authorities must end its roadblock of Eagle Pass and allow federal agents to resume operations in the area. If Texas did not agree to comply by the end of the day, DHS said it would refer the matter to the Department of Justice for appropriate action. Department of Homeland Security. I think they was one of the ones helping.
provided by the United Nations. In the Ecuadorian border town of Tulcan, dozens of government and non government organizations offer aid and instructions on how to navigate the mass migration trail. This map, provided by the United Nations, shows all of the migration related organizations in Tulcan. Aliens receive aid in the form of legal assistance, food packages, healthcare, maps, and more. Some of this aid is incredibly bizarre. The United Nations International Organization of Migration, IOM for short, hands out pamphlets detailing how to put on a condom. It is clear that the intent of these organizations is to direct the masses of illegal aliens to the United States. Consider this map, which shows the route from Colombia to the United States and marks 12 US border crossing points with flags. Many similar maps are distributed by other organizations. This map, distributed by the Red Cross, shows the route from Panama to the United States in painstaking detail. On the back of the map,
Yes, I don't know. I don't think they said nothing about that. January 22, the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to allow. That means 5 people voted over 4 people to allow Border Patrol agents to remove razor wire set by Texas. Right. So there's tension happening. This is why it's a possible civil war, because you got one group of civilians doing something and another group of civilians doing something else, and no one's listening. Right. They're basically fighting. January 23, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security sent a letter to Texas Attorney General reiterating the federal government's demand that the state authorities fully reopen the Shelby Park area to Border Patrol agents. Right, so that in that map I showed you, they completely shut that off to Border Patrol, right? Because that's what it was having a serious problem. And like in the map I showed you earlier, that was the migration trail for a lot of immigrants. So I can see why they might have a major problem right there. It's the shortest route too. Wednesday, January 24, a CNN team in Eagle Pass witnessed members of the Texas National Guard installing more anti-climb fencing and razor wire in the Shelby Park area, right? The wire has kept both migrants and Border Patrol out of the area. So Texas is, they still doing their thing. They still putting up more stuff despite being told not to. January 26th, this is the second deadline set by the Department of Homeland Security for Texas. They ain't listened to the first one, for Texas to agree to fully reopen disputed parts of the Shelby Park area to federal Border Patrol agents. So, if this dude, the governor, Abbott, keeps defying the government, what could happen? Or is he going to send troops, or what's going to happen with that? Right? Let's listen to this video right here.
Have repeatedly begun arresting migrants at a park in Eagle Pass where you have been. Can you walk us through all this? And I see that you're in the back of what looks like a truck. Who are you with and what are you seeing?
Well, ride with me, Sarah, as we show you the takeover by the state of Texas. Shelby Park is just behind me, but as we've been reporting, the state of Texas also took over about 2.5 miles of the Rio Grande, and this is the area that we're driving by. Now, you can see that there is new fencing that has gone up, and then you'll see several layers of razor wire before you see the Rio Grande. Now, despite all of these...
All right, something I want you to look at that fence. All right. That look real cheap and real simple, and I believe it's working. I believe it's working. Ain't nobody getting through there. You got Trump them talking about, not Trump, you talking about Biden want them to take it down, right? Trump built a thick wall for who knows how much. But this right here, it seems to be working. And it don't like it costs that much.
These barriers, migrants are still crossing. You can see that there are some items on the razor wire, sometimes clothes or other items that migrants use to get through the razor wire. We were here earlier when a group of 10 migrants.
If it wasn't working, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be. It wouldn't be that much big of a problem if it wasn't working.
Were arrested by Texas authorities. Now you can see that video. It includes men and women, and
I keep pausing, but you're not gonna get through no razor wire fast. You're gonna go through it real slow so you don't get messed up, because you can cut something and you just leaking. Yeah, you got over it, but now you dead, you know.
according to Texas authorities, only single men and women are being arrested, and families are being turned over to U.S. Border Patrol. But if you look around here, you don't see Border Patrol, and that's the point. You can see a Humvee over here from the Texas Military Department, but this gives you a sense of the takeover. You don't see Border Patrol. Now, normally, what we would see on the border, we would see members of the U.S. Border Patrol, because the international crossing, the international line between the U.S. and Mexico is in the middle of this river, in the middle of the Rio Grande. And as soon as migrants get on the U.S. side of the border, under U.S. law and policy, and normally, Sarah, that would be Border Patrol enforcing immigration law. Well, here in this zone, you don't see that happening because Texas has taken over.
Yeah, and I would say Texas is doing a better job, at actually enforcing the border. It seems like it's costing less money. They got like one truck out there, mad wire, you know, instead of thick walls that ain't really doing nothing. So these are the states right here. I got some scriptures. You can see them, they lined up. I ain't really get to them right now. These are the states that they have, that agreed with Texas. The reds have agreed with Texas, and then the blue states have not agreed with Texas. And it's evenly divided, which we'll get that scripture. You got 25 states against them and 25 states not against them. And there's one state for some reason, it's just they don't know who they want to be with. And that's they're against. That's good too. That mean they're against. They don't know. They're still against it too. You know what I mean? They don't know what to do. Babylon the Great, confusion. So yeah, homeless found living in furnace caves and kind of. All right, hold on. I seen something. All right, yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, I don't know where I seen it at, but they had raised some money for the border, and it was like 52 million. And like I was saying, those razor wires for 2.5 miles, I don't think it costed that much. Like they can do that the whole way. Anyway, sorry, I sound like stuffy or something. What's going on with the U.S. Texas border standoff? An unusual standoff between the federal and state government is taking shape on Texas border with Mexico, a battle over states' rights and migrant safety that has several Republican lawmakers exaggerating the tension as a budding civil war. And I mean, there's a possible civil war on the horizon. The conflict comes amid, and we know there's going to be a civil war on the horizon because of prophecy, regardless. So if this is it, or if it's going to come later down the line, it's coming. The conflict comes amid a record influx of migrants across the southern border, something that is sure to be a major issue in this year's presidential race. Below is everything you need to know about Texas Governor Greg Abbott's fight with the Biden administration. So that's what's happening. There's a fight between citizens over razor wire on the border, the rallying cry. And we understand the devil understands he has a short time and he has people to bring in, and maybe some of them got to come in, the way that this dude is blocking it off. So, there's a lot going on. Just blowing the trumpet pretty much. All right, let's get some scriptures. You pretty much understand. You got people, and famous people quoting about it and things like that. It's a lot happening. Matthew. Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand, right? And we understand that this kingdom has to fall in order for our kingdom to come, the kingdom of heaven, right? This kingdom has to fail. Everything here has to be destroyed, thermonuclear war, and everything else, has to collapse. The dollar, everything. So when we see things like this, Satan casting out Satan, states against states, civil wars in this place is good news for us. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Right? Signs of Yahushua's return, Matthew 24:1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto him, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Right? And this place is going to be desolate when Yahushua returns, right? Ain't nothing going to be left. No one's dwelling here in Babylon the Great. We don't want to see it no more. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Right? The end of this world. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? And, as you can see, all the brothers and the prophets out there have been posting videos about what's going on. War in Ukraine, war in Israel. United States soldiers, that just happened today, I believe. United States soldiers got shot. 3 of them killed, I believe. Yeah, three men killed by our Iran-backed soldiers. And that ties into the Iran-backed soldiers ties into Russia. So war is on the way. World War III is on the way. A whole bunch of stuff is on the way, but we understand these prophecies must come to pass, and we ain't gonna be troubled because they must come to pass. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Diverse places. All these are beginnings of sorrows. And that's pretty much where we're at with things. We are seeing these things happen in the world today. So, with this type of information, you should, repent and see what's going on, pray, and all of that, because these things are happening right now. You don't want to be left out in the dark that they take you as a thief in the night, basically. So with that, it's just a blowing of the trumpet, probably a long video, and I just read some articles, but hopefully you can look at it. Maybe you don't watch the news, so you watch this video instead, and you got some information of what's going on, and you got a little fear in you, because things are getting closer. Hey, at the end of the day, if that's what it takes, then hey, repent, turn back to your heritage, to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And with that, I want to say Shalom.